Hey everybody, we're back in the shop. Uh, haven't made a whole lot of videos lately because I haven't wanted to edit a whole lot of videos lately. But we haven't been in here. We've been trying some different techniques, different things to see what we had the tooling for that we could possibly do, or see where we may have had some things that were low on the skill level that we could complete, and things that were, you know, uh, maybe a little more difficult on the skill list. So, um, one of the first things I did was this little hook here. Um, didn't start out as a hook. Maybe I'll have a picture. I, this was just the end of a piece of rebar that was um, already tapered from something else. And so I tried out this cube twist, which it came out pretty well. It came out pretty clean like this one. Um, and then I didn't know what to do with it, so I just tapered the other end, and I thought I would make like a door pull with it. Um, I turned them both down, and I put a flat piece, so it could go against the door, and maybe we get in frame a little bit. So it could go against the door. It was they both curved in the same direction, and uh, and it was terrible. This is sloped. There was no shoulder to rivet it on with. Riveting rebar is seems to be about impossible for me. So I just cut them off, the terrible rivets, and I bent it into an S. In the reheating, uh, it it looks really bad. It didn't look this bad before, but now it looks, it looks pretty bad. So, uh, more brushing is essentially the case there, because then when I did the other ones, I'm like brushing all the time now because I'm so bad at this. So, um, but this one here, once again, I didn't really know what I was doing. I really wanted to flatten this here and not have a taper at all. This was just gonna be flattened, put a hole in it, maybe make a keychain item or something like that. Um, but for some reason, I tapered it. I wasn't thinking, and since I did, I tried the create a bend here at the tip, create this bend first, and then do this offset bend, and see if I could get the eye, because my S's, um, you can see the first one was really bad. The second one was only slightly better. Um, yeah. So I thought, okay, well, let's try to get I put a little bit of twist, a little bit of bend here, and then I came over here and I really bent this back, coming out this way, and uh, and I still didn't get the eye look. It's not centered. Um, and But the twist came out pretty cool. I really like the look of that twist. I like the practice that, get a little better. Um, and then this was the first twist I ever did. Um, I didn't do any other twists before this. Uh, and then the second twist that I ever did, and then this one, I just thought I would try something a little more plain, see what it looked like. Once again, I didn't know what I was going to do up here. I think a little planning would be beneficial at this point. Um, but I thought I'd see what it looked like with that kind of twist. I don't really like it. It seems plain. I would rather just do a plain twist than to put this. Um, I don't know if they call it a rope twist or what they do when you. I mean, definitely don't do two sides. Do all four sides if you're going to do it, or just don't do it at all. Um, I personally, because I got a line on opposite sides. It's not all four sides. Um, what I started this with was I wanted to try to upset the end and get more of a head shape, like a nail shape, or something like that. And so I got a little practice in with the upsetting, and it seems like I'd have to work at that for a while to get a little better at it. Um, so, I did a couple twists to see how difficult they were. Then I thought, all right, well, let's try making a leaf. That seems to be um, a common item. Um, I think on both leaves I forgot to mark them to get a little marking on them before I bent them. So I had to unbend them and mark them and then bend them. Like, yeah, uh, there's even if you have all the steps, you got to figure out what order to do them in, because doing them in the wrong order doesn't help. I ended up going back, burning the end off of this thing. You can kind of see it. Um, and this one didn't come out too good. There's a lot of ugliness on the back side. Um, Once again, just rebar. I feel like I pulled too much material. I never got this thinned out. Um, so then I thought I would try it again. Took less material, worked out a little better. I almost remembered to mark this one, and not nearly as bad. So today I think I'm gonna try to just make these over and over again. Just use one rod and and make one, knock it out, and then go, just continue on that same rod, just keep pushing through it, and see how they work out, see how bad it is, or see if you can develop any kind of skill over a day's time of working it. Um, but what I think we need to do is work on some of our tooling, because these marks I made with just pretty much a straight cut. It's there's not a lot to it. It really needs to be dressed. It's got a point on this end. It's kind of beat up in the middle and pretty sharp on the other end. Um, and it's angled tight enough that it's probably just for hot work, I would think. I picked these up on an auction, a couple little trays of these things, and so I have quite a few. I've used this for marking. Uh, it's got a pretty good stout point on it, so it's not bad for marking hot or cold. Um, so those could just use a little dressing. I don't think there's going to be a lot to do with them. And then I use a couple blunter type items. Now, once again, they're very straight, and I think I would like it to be to have more of a rounded edge. This one is still pretty sharp, but a little more blunt in the angle, which isn't bad. Maybe just some rounding. I think I have another one. This one was even blunter. I'm not sure I even use this one in anything. Um, but that's a very nice, you know, wide bull nose type of thing there. So I had one more that was a little wider, and here's one I tried punching holes with. I bent it. It was a little off to start with, and then I made it a lot more off. Um, yeah, I thought I had another pointy one here that was kind of blunt, but I have quite a few punches of different shapes. Like this one here, I couldn't really think of a use for this one, and it's already in a flattened type shape. So I thought take that point off and turn this into something. So I think before we get started on the leaves, I'm gonna probably get the forge lit because it's friggin' cold out today. But then I might try flattening this down and making that double fuller tool that I've seen. That looks pretty cool. That would be a nice thing. I got some square punches. I thought this would be what I use with that door because I had a square piece to go through the hinge, and I never got to use it. I'd screwed things up too much before I could even get to that. So, but I have a lot of offset ones. They have a bit of an angle. I think I used this one to try to do some of these lines to see if I would get some thickness, and I didn't get any. It was pretty much like having a straight, just a regular cut. And some of these are like an off. It might have been that one I tried using. Where's one that's maybe I didn't bring one over. They're kind of rhombus shaped. They're not. Now here, this one looks almost like a tiny rivet. I don't know if you can see that indent, but it looks like it's you know, for small rivets. That one I probably won't touch. I don't know how I put it back, but yeah, I have a couple punches that are kind of similar shaped. Um, so I think I'm gonna try to make some tooling for the leaves first, and then give it a go. We'll see what happens. I'd like to force one of these into a shape like a maybe even that one might have to do it. Something shaped like a finger, where it's rounded and then sloped back. Almost like you're looking at a finger. Um, anyway, I'm gonna give these a try. See what I can shape up a little, and then we'll get back. All right, we're back. Use the trusty grinder here. I really thought I was gonna kill whatever hardness these things had, but honestly, like it's just it's so skatey. Um, I'm kind of glad I did most of it with the grinder, because I kind of did them all, ground them a little bit, and then I headed over to the grinder or to try hand filing them to touch them up. So this here was um, just a sharp edged, and I just rounded it some, so that you can kind of follow your line, roll across it, tap, roll, tap. It's very small, so it would be for smaller lines. Um, this guy here worked really well for the longer lines, and I think I did find, yeah, I found the one that was a little wider, and it's also got a decent length to it. This one here is very sharp. I should probably round that too, but just trying to get through what I'm thinking I'm going to use today. So then this one here is I just wanted to get more of a rounded edge to it, just for getting maybe a little more organic look. Tap a leaf from the back end on a piece of wood, just to get it to kind of bend however it wants to. Not a lot of force, but just to give it a knock and round that out, because it was a point. Keep these together so I can use them. This one, I cut a slot in that. You get like it's supposed to be a little bit like a fish lip, I think. When you look at it, but probably should just grab a bar and fish lip the end, and I'd have it. Wouldn't have to do any cutting or grinding at all. But this one here, I tried to get inside with a file. You can see I barely moved it because the blade obviously cut it very straight, and so my little file got in there and was able to round it a little bit. Hopefully, we'll see what the results are. So that would be like a for the stem. Just go down and kind of make it like that, where you have the stem through the middle and a fuller on each side. So we'll see. And then this one, which I really thought would be nice for a shaping tool for quite a few different things, but I think this will be the marks in the side of the leaves. Get this finger impression going up. It looks pretty nice. Man, it's still cold in here. I built a wood fire in my coal stove here, in my coal forge. This isn't 100% even. I'm a little high on one side, low on the other. Couldn't fix it with the file because it's just, this stuff just doesn't move under my file. It's still very hard. So I got the wood stove going over there, and that piece sticking out right here is a long piece of rebar that we're gonna get with, and a chicken just went by. You guys missed it. Maybe you saw it. So I'm gonna get going on that, and we'll see what these tools end up making our product look like.